Hey, good morning. It's 5 a.m. Mester Scrum. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're having a good day. It's Saturday. Today was trash day, so I was doing all that this morning, get rid of all the stuff and clean up the area and try to clean up backlog, get some room for stuff that the kids got, right? And make room for Girl Scout cookies. Soon, there will be mounds of Girl Scout cookies on both sides of me, around me, over my head. Maybe, I don't know. We'll see. Apparently, it's Girl Scout cookie time. So have fun. Anyway, it's 5 a.m. Mester Scrum. Hope you're doing well. It is 9:30 a.m. on Saturday. This is episode 159. Yeah, it's kind of late, but like I said, I was doing trash, cleaning up the house, and I got to do that because that's priority because it has a time constraint on it, which kind of leads in. We're going to keep it short today because still getting over my hand. Did a little too much yesterday. We'll talk about some things, but here we talk about Agile and Scrum in a tactical and practical way. Have some fun with it. Help grow your business and stuff in the office and outside the office. And so you can get home to your family and friends to have some fun and do other things as well without stressing. And like I said, have some fun when we do it. So it's Saturday, 5 a.m. Mester Scrum. And I was wearing a headband because I found it while I was cleaning Eddie's thing. And I think it just took it apart so I can throw it out now. So a couple things to talk about. Why don't we talk? I just mentioned about cleaning up the backlog. It's always good to do. And during the holidays when no one's there, just go through your backlog and just try to edge out stuff that you've been putting off. Clean that out. Make sure it has value. Nothing is setting a priority in time. So I was just kind of doing some research just to come up with some ideas for today. I'm still working on the other thing and clean up everything. It's just a mess. And the other day we went out and did some family fun. We went snow tubing and kind of overcommitted a little bit. I did a Superman thing, and then my hand was like, "Oh, you shouldn't have done that." So I think I got an extra couple of days of healing up my arm again because I went a little overdid it, and that's kind of what I want to talk about a little bit today. And the overcommitment, just be mindful of overdoing it, right? Like I did the other day, overdid it, doing the snow tubing, doing the Superman. So I'm drawing up for the podcasters, which I still got to get the podcasting thing working. It's not working as well as it was. And all of a sudden, I try to download something for YouTube and turn it into a podcast, and it would just crash, right? So you've seen this graph before where the first time the team comes out, they accept more work they accept a lot of work. It's like, oh, we could do a lot. And they actually achieve really low. This is number of points. Story points on the vertical, with the higher being more, and time at the bottom are sprints, right? Sprints, right? Sprint one. So sprint one, they usually achieve less. So the next sprint, they for the rules, you're supposed to do what you did before. So you commit to less and you achieve more. And then you commit to more and you achieve less. And by the fourth sprint, everything's pretty good. And that's pretty typical most teams, and it's not going down. It'll go up later. So it's pretty typical. One of the things, just think about it. If the team decides that they really did good or really did bad, don't overdo it. And the other thing you got to watch out for is if you have carryover, which I lost my little eraser. If you have carryover, right, and say one sprint on the amount of points they did, and say they're typically up here, and then one sprint they achieved a low, right, and the next sprint they achieved high, they went down and came back up again. That's usually because they're making up the work at the end that they finished it late at the last sprint, early in the previous sprint, so they did more work. So now they're going to say, oh, let's say we did 45 points here and they did 55 points here. So we must be able to do 55 points. Don't overdo it. Get back down to your 50 point range or whatever, in the next sprint. Get back to where your average is, because that was probably just a fluke. And that's like me doing the Superman dive and hitting my hand again and not doing too good. It's still working. It's getting there. It's going to take a long time, I think, to get back to normal. So pick 50, right? So that's something you want to think about, not overcommitting for your team. The other thing want to talk about, and we talked about timing. What's the priority? And I was looking at some old books I had. I had an old Scrum book, one of the classes for Scrum Master training. And it said, the question was, at sprint planning, the team communicates to you that they have no idea the best way to implement the story selected. Mm-hmm. Oh, what are you doing to the cat? Nothing. Okay. All right. Anyway, so what you want to think about is got two things to ask. This team doesn't know how to finish the work they committed to, right? There's always negotiation. When you develop a good relationship with the product owner, you can always go back and say, what we're going to do. One of the things you want to make sure is, when does the product owner really need that work? It's like, I had trash day. Trash day by 7 o'clock, though I think the trash is still sitting out there, but it's off by day because of the holiday. You know, when is the deadline? What are you going to do? Are you doing an ad? Are you broadcasting this? Are you going to, is another team need this work? What is the thing that makes this work need to be done in that sprint? You need to find that out, because the reason why is that if they really don't know what they need to do to implement something, you got to break the story in two. Break it into a spike. One of my favorite things, right? So if one, find out if you really need it next 2 weeks or something. I mean, we can do it early, or can we deliver the following thing the next 2 weeks? Maybe this sprint, we take a smaller spike story and do the spike story and try to find out whether or not that help us figure out how to implement what was asked for. So you build a smaller story of a smaller increment to do that. They establish what you really need to do, and that'll get you closer to where you need. Have some business value. I don't know what it would be. Maybe it's the front end, or getting data from one thing and share with another one, and never done that before, and they never tapped the data. Maybe it's just a question of going through all the firewalls and finding everything out, getting some data that we can use for future analysis. So those are the kind of things you want to ask. So there's nothing wrong of going back to the product owner once you are familiar with each other and finding out when things are really due. I mean, did they really say, hey, we promised everybody we'd give this in 2 weeks and we need to get it done in 2 weeks? Or is it 2 weeks from now that I want to go back to 5 a.m. Do 5 a.m. Mester Scrum without the boy. Pretty good. Who's walking around behind the camera, which you can't see right now. Anyway, with that, we're going to cut it early. And it's Saturday. I still got more cleaning to do. And so almost got the office clean enough for Girl Scout cookies, so that when the hundreds of boxes show up here, that they have space for it. Or I don't know what he's doing. Anyway, so we're going to head out. We're going to go. Please give a thumbs up, right?
And ring the bell.
And ring the bell. If you don't too much. But we'll make micro content and we'll share this out to everybody and everything like that. So we're still going. Again, this was episode 159, the 5 a.m. Mester Scrum Show. Please like and subscribe, and we'll see you soon. Eddie, have a good weekend. Happy scrumming, and have fun with family and friends. Okay, we don't need to see the bubble wrap. All right, see ya. Take care, everyone. Have fun. Bye.